Hello Stampers, this is Susan Malloy of Silver Lady Stamping, and I'm also a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator. Today I want to show you a coloring technique for coloring the new Be Dazzling design or specialty paper. It's like a designer series paper, but it's a specialty paper that is available in the Celebration catalog until which is going to be until September 30th. And this, we show you the paper. This is the paper. It's called Be Dazzling. This is a sealed package. Let me show you the paper itself. Oh, it's so sparkly, and it almost has a fabric feel to it. So if you were to tear it, it doesn't tear the way regular paper does. It almost feels like fabric, but it's not. It just is. It's thicker. This little tiny sparkles, the sequins, do not fall off, so you can scrape them. Nothing. It's not like glitter that might fall off and fall onto your project. It's not. It's all adhered to the backing, which is just a plain white backing. It's great. So I'm going to show you a coloring technique that I used on this card. As you can, this is I used the bedazzling paper, which started out as gold, and I colored the trees with polished pink, with Coastal Cabana, and with Pacific Point. And I'm going to show you a super easy technique. Now, I have seen other demonstrators using a coloring technique for the bedazzling specialty paper, and what they do is they use the spritzers, which are really easy to use, and then they fill it with 91% alcohol, and then they put in about 3 drops from a re-inker. And then they spritz the paper. They just go ahead and spritz the paper, and then cut out their design, or the other way around. They cut out the design and then spritz it. And that's a great technique. Then you set it aside, and it dries very quickly, and you're off and running, and it's great. That's a great technique. But the problem is, the spritzers come in a 3-pack. And so let's say you use a different color for each one of the spritzers to do your projects, whether it's this one or some other kind of a project. And now you want to use some other colors. Well, you'd have to buy more spritzers. So I'm going to show you a technique using your ink pads, and you can pretty much make whatever color you want just with your ink pads. And it's about as simple as you can possibly get. So I'm going to set this aside. I'll keep bringing it back in for reference, but I'll show you what we're going to need to make this card. I'll set it aside up here. I'll put it just right up here. So the card base I'm using is garden green. I just love this color. It's not too green. It has a tiny amount of blue in it, but it's just a nice green. I just like that color. It's one of my favorites. Okay, and I'm going to just give this a crisp edge using my bone folder. Right? You guys know how to do this part. And then another piece that we're going to need is the brushed metallic. This is the gold brushed metallic paper that's available in the catalog. And I cut this to be 5.5, so it goes all the way across the paper. And then this is just measures 3 inches, right? So I'll show you in this card in the example. As you can see, the brush metallic goes from end to end, and then this is just 3 inches. So 5.5 by 3. All right, so we'll set that aside for a second. And then for the trees, as you can see, I've already pre-cut the trees. So I cut 3, and I cut them from the Whimsical Trees bundle. And So I keep my dies inside with the stamp sets so I know what goes with what. And then this comes with like a whole bunch of dies, right? A whole bunch of dies. And then we're going to use this one that has these cutouts, right? So I've already done that, but that's the one that you'll need. So again, and then it has all of these great stamps. So this is the Whimsical Trees bundle. Love it. It's just been great. All right, so I use that to cut the trees from the Bedazzling paper, right? It cuts beautifully. And then once you cut it, you'll want to punch out the cutout pieces, and they pop out really easily. All right, so I'm going to just set my card aside because this is where we're going to do the magic. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to color it. I'm going to start with polished pink. And here's this, you're going to not believe how easy this is. So you just take your ink pad and you're going to swoosh it right over your tree. That's it. That's it. Colored, done. You love that? Is that about as easy as it gets? Next color, we're going to do Coastal Cabana. Swoosh it over. Oop. And you can, if you want it darker, you can go over it again and make, it's no problem. So that's the Coastal Cabana, which actually ends up looking kind of green. Don't you think? It doesn't look like, I love Coastal Cabana. But in this case, when it goes on the bedazzling paper, it looks green. All right, this is Pacific Point. Now I tried doing Night of Navy, just so you know. So I did Night of Navy, and that ended up looking more black. So I said, oh no, it didn't, it just was too deep of a pigment to go onto the paper to come out looking blue. And I've also used Misty Moonlight, which it came out nice, but I'm going to use Pacific Point this time. Boom. And I like the way with the Pacific Point, you tell me. So you see it's kind of vivid, right? But it came out the way I would have expected Night of Navy to come out. But Night of Navy, like I said, came out too black. I'm going to set those aside because I want to move my paper and get a clean sheet of paper so you can see it more clearly. Look at that. Is that about as easy as it gets? Now, you can just use, while I use the polished pink and the Coastal Cabana and Pacific Point, you can use whatever colors you want, and you're not restricted by having only a few spritzers. You can just pick whatever colors you like. All right, so now what I want to do is, let me set that aside. Okay, and I have my paper. And I want to start adhering the pieces. So we will I think I'll just do the Stampin' Seal for the metallic layer. Okay. Oops. Do one more. There we go. Okay. Do my best to get it centered. Okay. Now, as far as adhering the trees are concerned, I'm going to use liquid glue because it's too small, and I can't really use the Stampin' Seal because I just can't get it in there. I know that the Stampin' Seal will end up all over the place. So I'm going to just put some liquid glue. I'm just going to dab it little dabs. Just like this. Okay. Hopefully the camera's not too far away for you to be able to see everything. Okay, and I'm going to lay it down so that the bottom of the tree is along the bottom edge of the gold foil, but as you can see, the tree trunk is below the line. You can see it. And then the top of the tree is above the gold foil. See that? Here we go. All right, so now we will do the green tree. Again, we're just gonna dab some liquid glue on it. Okay. And the way I'm going to adhere this one, I'm going to take the point of the bottom right of the tree, and I'm going to put it right up against where the tree trunk is. I'll show you when I adhere it down. I'll hold it up to the camera. You can see a little bit better. Okay. So I'm overlapping it, and the way I'm doing it is the bottom edge of the tree is kind of like up against where the tree trunk is. Okay, we'll do the last one, the pink tree. Okay, and we'll do the same thing. I'm going to take the bottom right edge of my pink tree and put it against the edge of the tree trunk. So that, again, the bottom of the tree is against the bottom edge of the gold foil. Okay. Here we go. So we have the makings of our card. So now all I'm going to do is stamp the sentiment. So we have, I'm using Season's Greetings, and I'm using a scrap piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm getting my sentiment from the Merry Snowflakes stamp set. So I'm going to use this one. And then for the inside, I am going to use this sentiment, which says, may the happiness of family, the joys of friendship, and the warmth of love surround you this season. Okay, so I'll take my, oh no, I already have that one out. That's right. I already took it out and I put it on my block. I'm ahead of myself. So I'm going to use Polished Pink as my sentiment color, because I'm using non-traditional colors here. Okay, let me close it up. And let's see if I can get this straight. Let me push this up a little bit. Let's see how well I do this. Might end up being off the paper a little bit. We'll see. Well, a little bit, but you get the drift of it. Okay. Clean the stamp off. Set that aside. And I do want to trim it a little bit, but I'm going to use my paper trimmer. Sometimes when I use my scissors, if it's a small piece, I don't mind, but when it's a bigger piece, sometimes isn't straight. So, all right, it's not the most perfect sentiment, but you kind of get I don't want to stop the whole video to stamp this again. All right, I'm going to use some dimensionals and pop it up. Do that. I'll do a couple more. One there and one there. Okay. Okay. And then I would just put it on the left corner. And there you have it. Wasn't that about as easy as anything? I just love the fact that the technique of coloring the paper doesn't involve extra steps. Let me show you in the, I'll just put this right here so you can see it, but I'll show you in the Celebration catalog. So if you spend $50 in either the annual catalog or the holiday mini catalog, you can get the Be Dazzling paper for free. It's gorgeous. I have about 4 packs of it. So the Celebration is going to be, this is Celebration too, because it was Celebration earlier this year, and Stampin' Up! Decided to do a second one. There's no limit to the number of free items that you can get. For every $50, you're going to get a free item or even a $100 item. So this is the Bedazzling paper. You can, if you have the penguins, the Penguin Place bundle, which is the stamp set, and the punch, you can get the Designer Series paper for free with a $50 purchase. This one is Feels Like Home stamp set. Is so pretty. That's so pretty. That one you can get for free for $50. Then here is the beautifully penned designer black and white Designer Series paper, which is the black and white version of hand penned. We have some Designer Series paper for that too. That came out with the annual catalog, but this one is black and white. You can get the Peaceful Prince Deer Designer Series paper for free with a $50 purchase, and that goes along with the Peaceful Deer bundle. You get the stamp set and you get the punch in the bundle. And then keep in mind in the catalogs, including Celebration, you get these card samples created by Stampin' Up's designers to give you inspiration of what you can do with the products. Then let's see, we also have the Counting Sheep stamp set that you can get for free for $50, and again more inspiration. And then at the same time you can also then get the dies that go along with the stamp set. And let's see, what else do we have? Textures and frames. I've seen some really interesting ideas that people have used for using this. This is really intended to be background stamps. Great job. These are, this is a card that their designers put together, and this one as well. You can see background stamp. These are some dies, the Summer Shadows dies, free with a $100 purchase. And this goes along with, this coordinates with the Shaded Summer stamp set that's available in the catalog. You can get the dies for free with a $100 purchase. Also available with a $100 purchase is this beautiful Delicate Dahlias stamp set. I got that one. It's so pretty. I love the detail on it. It's a 2-step stamp set, so you would use one stamp to do kind of a background, and then you would stamp the other stamp with more detail on it. So pretty. And then you have some, then you have a stamp set in the back, which is a free hostess set, but you don't have to host a workshop to get it. You can get it if you purchase $300. If your order is $300, you can get it. You can get it for free, it says. So you can see that. Free with a $300 or more purchase. So if you're buying a lot of product, you can get that one for free. That is, so that's today's card. Let me see, I had another card I wanted to show you. Yeah, here it is right here, that I use that same coloring technique. This was another one that I used with the same season's greeting sentiment. And the Merry Snowflakes dies. So I use this for the snowflakes. And as you can, I think I used that was Misty Moonlight to color the bedazzling strip and the snowflakes. And then I don't know if you can see you can see the background, right? This background. So it's die cut, but it's intended as a background die cut and not one to punch out all the way through. And that is in this Merry Snowflakes bundle. And it's this strip right here. And as you can see, it has all these, a strip of snowflakes. So what I did is I put it through the die machine, the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine at the top. And again, I put it through on the bottom to give it this dimension and the images of the snowflakes. And then for these snowflakes, I took the snowflakes from the dies, and there's a ton of them. You can use larger ones or smaller ones. I chose the smaller ones, and I die cut them, and then I also did the same coloring technique I just showed you. I just ran the stamp pad over it to give them some color, and then I just adhered them with a little bit of just some liquid glue. And then of course put the sentiment in the center. But let me show you a little. This is kind of life changing. These little dots. You can create your own embellishments. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can do it with the bedazzling paper, and I just have scraps, right? Just whatever scrap paper you have left over. But here, I got a strip. Now, that one I'm going to use Pacific Point. But you want to, because you're going to be punching out little dots, it's better to color the paper before you start punching. But here, I'm just going to do this and color the paper. Smush. Okay. And there's the paper. It's all colored, right? So now, here's how you're going to punch them out. And I'm sorry for my reach. Just get a regular paper punch, right? That's just a regular old paper punch. Not the one with the little tiny hole punch, but just the regular school type punch. And just, punch out some circles. Okay, now my paper punch has a catch basin that, so once I'm done, I just have to open it up and all the little bits come falling out. Look at it. You got little tiny pieces, and they are the perfect size to put onto your glue dots. So I'm just going to take one, and you can use your take a pick tool to do this, but I'm just going to lay it right on there and lay it right on your glue dots. All right, I'll just do this last one. Look at that. Look at that. That is so awesome. And then you can just pop them off, obviously, and put them on your card. And there you have it. So this bedazzling paper is just so beautiful. Now, you don't have to color the bedazzling paper to do the embellishments. You can keep it as gold. So if you're doing a card that has gold on it, then you can most certainly just keep the gold. I have another card. Let's see if I can find it without too much trouble. Watch, I probably will. Oh, here it is. And this one had the gold foil, and I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make this one. And I may end up taking some of the gold and doing some dots. I may not, but anyway, so you could do the same thing. This was a super easy card to make. And then I used a circle punch to create a halo with the bedazzling paper. And this has that, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the embossing folder that has the music on it. Super nice. So this is a combination of two stamp sets, the angel, and then I think this is for Unto Us. And I thought the two of them went really well together. So that's another one that I did with bedazzling paper. But I just wanted to show you what all the options that you have available to you to use that paper, and how, you can use it for a whole bunch of projects. So I just love it. And I just wanted to share that with you. So thank you for watching. And I am going to do another video. Oh, here's a card that I really want to do a video on. This one with the poinsettia stamp set. I love this one. It's so pretty. As I said, I love pink. So I have a whole bunch of cards that I want to do. Oh, if you'll indulge me, just let me show you. This is not with bedazzling paper. This one just cracked me up. Poor Santa's being dragged by his reindeer. He wasn't ready. He wasn't back in the sleigh yet. This one I did, the background is the embossing folder. Oh God, I can't remember now. Not Woodland Wonder. I can't remember. Oh, it's the one with the trees, right? It has the trees. And I ran the Night of Navy ink pad over the inside of the embossing folder and then put the paper in it and embossed it. So what happens when you do that is the color doesn't get picked up in the foreground. It turns white and only the background turns the color. So that one cracked me up. I'm going to do a video about this guy. All right, enough of that. I just want to say thank you for watching me today, and I hope you liked my coloring tip and that you'll give it a try. So thank you for watching.